I did not say that, in fact, the sanctions would deter him.
The president believes that sanctions are intended to deter.
Mr. Trudeau, you are a disgrace for any democracy. Please spare us your presence.
I'm a gay transgender nephew after I got off work at Starbucks where I'm a barista, but at least I know that I was helping the LGBTQ community.
Oh, we've got a clip-tastic show for you today. Joe Biden was in Brussels, said some funny things. We'll play that. Nancy Pelosi called the president perfect. Trump sues Hillary. Some LGBTQ city council parody. Oh my gosh, it's going to be a great Friday. Stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching Daily Caller. Daily Caller Live starts right now.
2, 1.
Here we go.
That might be the only brown guy on earth named Jobob.
That is actually her name, Jobob.
Live from a dingy bunker completely cut off from the outside world, except for you fine folks. My name is Jobob. This is Daily Caller Live. On today, it is March 25th, the year of our Lord 2022. New you in 22. You should have started that a couple months ago. Got a lot of hilarious stuff coming your way, especially on a Friday to take you into the weekend. Well, hilarious, but also terrifying. The President of the United States was in Brussels, gave a press conference. We said this yesterday. He was probably going to give a press conference yesterday, and he did, and we have lots of those clips. So we'll just get right on into that. What do we want to go to first? Here, let's go.
If you covered me for the very...
This is, oh, darn it. Here we go. This is the President of the United States in Brussels. Before we play this, it literally says the exact opposite of his own cabinet. And we have lots of clips that just display that. But before we play that, please click the little like button, click the little share button. There's like 3,000 of you watching right now all across the different platforms. I see the number right there. And there's like, click the little like button, the little share button. Really, really helps us out, especially on a Friday to get this thing through the weekend. You can click the little laughing button or the little angry button, whatever you feel. Just would really appreciate you doing so. Without further ado, here is the President of the United States talking about sanctions and whether or not they were going to work or deter or do anything. Watch this clip and then we'll play the contradicting clip right after that.
Let's get something straight. You remember, if you covered me from the very beginning, I did not say that, in fact, the sanctions would deter him. Sanctions never deter. You keep talking about that. Sanctions never deter.
You freaking morons! Sanctions were never meant to deter. He didn't say that ever. They never deter anyone from doing anything. Why would you implement sanctions? They don't do anything. They're never meant to deter. If you've been following from the beginning, he never said that they would deter anyone. Here's Jake Sullivan from the White House. I think it's from the Pentagon press briefing room of the White House administration saying something a couple weeks ago.
Jake, what about the pre-invasion sanctions? You didn't answer that part of my question. Is the president looking at sanctions ahead of an invasion any differently than he has been up until this point, given the escalation that we're seeing from Russia?
The president believes that sanctions are intended to deter, and in order for them to work to deter, they have to be set up in a way where if Putin moves, then the costs are imposed.
But wait a minute, Mr. President. You just said sanctions were never meant to deter, but people in your own administration said this. So there's a longer clip of all of the... that's the stuff that I found on the internet briefly while setting up this show in the morning. We found that clip, then we found the clip of Jake Sullivan talking to the press saying, well, these are always meant to deter. Coupled that with Joe Biden saying they were never meant to deter. But the GOP put out a video that, look, the show is not affiliated with a political party, but what the video they put out is newsworthy, so I'm going to play it. So I wanted to do what I found first and then the whole video that they found after, because it's kind of hilarious. These are all of the times that the president and the president's administration, including one Kamala Harris, including Secretary Antony Blinken, including the dude with the curly hair that's always on MSNBC talking as a strategist, including Jake Sullivan, including John Kirby. All of these people said the main point of the sanctions is to deter. when President Biden yesterday said, no, that was never the plan. Never the plan at all. Never was going to do that. Check out this clip. This one you're going to want to share with your friends. If you haven't already, click the little share button. Click the little like button. Again, really, really appreciate it. And there's way more of you watching. Click the like button. So help us out. Watch this.
Sanctions never deter. You keep talking about that.
The purpose of the sanctions has always been and continues to be deterrence.
The purpose of the sanctions, in the first instance, is to try to deter Russia from going to war.
The president believes that sanctions are intended to deter.
They're meant to prevent and deter a large-scale invasion.
We want them to have a deterrent effect.
The sanctions are designed in the first instance to try to deter Russia from taking further aggression.
As well as our efforts to both try to deter Russia through sanctions.
If you pull the trigger on that deterrent, well, then it doesn't exist anymore as a deterrent.
So there you have it. The president saying these were never meant to deter. And then his entire military apparatus saying, well, these were always supposed to deter. Like, where to go from here? The president set his entire administration up to have a bad weekend of making the rounds in the press when someone says, hey, you've been saying these things are supposed to be deterrents the entire freaking time. And then your boss came out yesterday and said, no, they're not meant to deter. So there's that. I wish that was the weirdest thing that President Biden said yesterday, but it was not. We're talking about food shortages now. Holy crap. Here in the United States of America, where food has been plentiful for the last century, minus maybe the Great Depression. We're talking about food shortages. President Biden was at that same podium he was yesterday saying this. Geez. Now, I guess if you haven't clicked the little like button, you can click the angry button. Check out this very short clip from the president.
Nothing more to report. With regard to food shortages, yes, we did talk about food shortages. And it's not just imposed upon Russia. It's imposed upon an awful lot of countries as well, including European countries and our country as well.
So the president saying, hey, food shortages are a real thing and we should probably be prepared for them. Uh-oh. We'll see how that plays out. Somebody else, I believe this was Town Hall, coupled that video with another video that he said during the campaign in 2020. So check this out.
With regard to food shortages, yes, we did talk about food shortages. And it's going to be real.
We don't have a food shortage problem. We have a leadership problem. We have plenty of food.
Dude, the guy makes my job too easy. I was telling a friend the other day that I started slacking off because nowadays, it used to be when we started this show, we started it during Afghanistan, so that really wasn't entirely difficult then either. We used to spend way more time prepping. Now you just get up and get on and read the news. Well, I read the news all day and put stuff in intermittently. But now you just get on and read the news and, well, yeah, the president probably said something dumb. And if he didn't, the vice president did. And if she didn't, the secretary of state did. And if he didn't, then Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, did. I'd like a challenge, Mr. President. Would really like a challenge in cultivating the news. Last thing on the Biden administration today, before we get into, holy cow, the Europeans hate Justin Trudeau. I didn't know this, but dude got slammed the other day at a UN meeting, and we wanted to play. You know what? Now, we're going to play this clip beforehand. This is Nancy Pelosi at the Lyndon B. Johnson Library talking to some panel dude, the audience, saying some things that I know she doesn't believe. This video is a couple days old, but I've been waiting till Friday to play it because Friday is kind of our lighthearted day. Listen to the Speaker of the House call the President of the United States, the current guy, perfect. He is perfect. Joe Biden is perfect, says Speaker Pelosi. Check this out.
Joe Biden is a great president. He is a gift. As I've said to him, don't say I told you this, but what I've said to him sometimes, I'm glad you didn't win before because we really needed you to win now for president. He's perfect. He's perfect for...
If I know anything, we needed to win now.
Now, I mean, it would have been perfect then, but perfect. We need him now because he, as I said before, showed progress, gives hope, shows empathy for the needs that people have. But in everything that he does, he is so inclusive by making sure that everything is about justice, about whether we're talking about lowering the cost of health care, lowering the cost of child care, universal pre-K, home health care, all the things that are transformative as we try to help people not only survive, but to succeed.
Succeed. So I love reading the comment sections while videos are going through. This is pretty ubiquitous across the internet. The Nancy Pelosi is consistently drunk thing. I don't believe that to be true. Honestly, I think she might just be aging on in her years. But a lot of people continuing to say Nancy Pelosi is drunk. I don't think that's actually happening, but it is kind of funny to look at it through those contextual lenses. But Nancy Pelosi, here's what I'll say about Nancy Pelosi. She's wrong about dang near everything when it comes to policy-wise, but I wish we had people just as good at spinning things as she is. She's actually very talented when it comes to that. Maybe you don't like to hear that, but it's true. Getting on to this, I promised this. Justin Trudeau got rocked at a UN meeting yesterday, 2 days ago, a couple days ago, and it was nuts. This is let me see if I can read through here. Oh, shoot, I didn't even read any of this stuff going on with Ukraine. Maybe we'll get to that in the end. Because that's less fun than... We're having a lot of fun today watching these hilarious clips. Trudeau, following a speech Wednesday from Trudeau in Brussels in his first 5 years, in which he... first speech in his first 5 years, in which he defended democracy and warned against mounting populism. Two MPs rose in a fierce rebuttal. Croatian MEP... I don't even want to try to pronounce this guy's name. Kolokosvik said Trudeau's quasi-liberal boot in recent months. The world should watch out to watch how you trampled women with horses, referring to the police on horseback who cleared out the convoy occupation in downtown Ottawa. The Freedom Convoy movement began as a protest against all vaccine mandates, and then again was creating a lot of havoc in the capital city of Canada. Kolosukik went on to slam the steps Ottawa took through involving emergency acts to freeze bank accounts, claiming it prevented single parents from being able to pay for medicine, education, and their mortgages. So that guy from Croatia slammed Trudeau. And then this happened. This is an MEP from Germany, I believe, who just continues to rock the Prime Minister of Canada. Check this out.
Mr. Trudeau, you are a disgrace for any democracy. Please spare us your presence.
I will now give the floor to Ms. Christine Anderson for her point.
Thank you. Based on Article 195, out that it would have been more appropriate for Mr. Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, to address this House according to Article 144, an article which was specifically designed to debate violations of human rights, democracy, and the rule of law, which is clearly the case with Mr. Trudeau. Then again, a Prime Minister who openly admires the Chinese basic dictatorship, who tramples on fundamental rights by persecuting and criminalizing his own citizens as terrorists just because they dared to stand up to his perverted concept of democracy, should not be allowed to speak in this House at all. Mr. Trudeau, you are a disgrace for any democracy. Please spare us your presence. Thank you.
Boom. Yeah, a bunch of people looked at what happened in Canada and went just like we did here. Like, holy crap, that's not cool at all. So yeah, they don't like him in Europe either. Want to move on to this before we get into what I'm pretty sure is a parody speech, but I can't actually be entirely positive because who knows what's parody in the world today. But I wanted to get to this. This is probably a story that a bunch of you are hopping on and excited about. Former President Donald Trump filed a sprawling federal lawsuit on Thursday against Hillary Clinton, the Democratic National Committee, and 26 other people and entities that he claims conspired to undermine his 2016 campaign by falsely tying him to Russia, which is probably true. Remember, all of the investigations, the witch hunt nonsense that went on through the Mueller investigation from Adam Schiff and the Intel probes, all of that crap that turned out to be not entirely true at all. And by not entirely, I mean 0 sense of truth. The Steele dossier was made up. We're not going to get into that whole thing right now. We all have heard all of those stories before. But now President Trump has filed a lawsuit. The lawsuit names a wide cast of characters that Trump accused, this is, by the way, I think from the New York Post, has accused for years of orchestrating a deep state conspiracy against him. Oh, you know what? Sorry, this is actually CNN. So CNN is now reporting this because guess what? CNN, now that Trump is gone, apparently has found its backbone a little bit. Where was I? Orchestrating a deep state conspiracy against him, including former FBI Director James Comey and other FBI officials and retired British spy Christopher Steele and his associates, and a handful of Clinton campaign advisors. Under the guise of opposition research and data analysis, the other political stratagems, the defendant nefariously sought to sway the public's trust, says the lawsuit filed in a federal court in Florida. They worked together with a single self-serving purpose in mind: to vilify Donald J. Trump. This is hilarious. I think this is so funny. Sorry, maybe you don't, but this is absolutely comical. The over 108 pages, the lawsuit rails against many of Trump's political opponents and highlights the grievances that he complained about for years. That turned out to be probably pretty accurate. It claims that Democrats and government officials perpetuated a grab bag of offenses from racketeering conspiracies to malicious prosecutions, computer fraud, and theft of secret internet data. The lawsuit asks for more than $24 million in costs and damages. The reason why I feel like this is going to actually go somewhere and do something is because the minimal amount of money that is being asked for or sought after by the Trump campaign, legal office, and him as an individual. If this was just a big, massive publicity stunt, I think they would have sued them for like $1 billion or several hundred million. But no, they're only asking for $24 million out of 28 defendants. So I feel like that's a reasonable number, if not pretty dang low, which would only tell me that, hey, they're serious about this, and this doesn't seem to just be a PR stunt. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. A lot of people in the comments section talking about, wow. Basically, to sum up the comment section here, they don't have a lot of good, glowing views of one Hillary Clinton. Orange mad bad. Yeah. That's all of that. Oh, let me get to this. This is the last thing that I want to get to today on a Friday, and I think I'm going to play this whole thing. I am pretty sure that this is parody, but I'm not positive. I'm like 95% sure that this is a joke, but I'm not 100%. This is a guy at a city council meeting in a Biden for President T-shirt, railing against all of these super mean people in the former administration, in the government, in your talking news cable heads. This is about 2 minutes. I think we're going to play the whole thing, so stick around. If you haven't already, if people need a laugh this week going into the weekend, click the little like button, click the little share button. every day. There's thousands of more people on this thing watching than there are clicking the little like thing. And I'm serious. Clicking the little like button helps us tremendously in the algorithms and to get people to continue watching the show. So really appreciate you doing so. Check this out. Again, I'm 95% sure this is parody, but I can't entirely be sure because who knows what parody is nowadays. Check this out.
War with Ukraine and Russia. If we had a nuclear war, it would be worth it if it could just save one life. What?
It has to be true.
Imagine living in a world where people weren't selfish science denying, racist, transphobic, xenophobic, misogynistic bigots, where people actually supported democracy and took on their social responsibility. The only way to fight for our democracy is to get vaccinated while supporting Ukraine in the fight. And that is your social responsibility. Everybody! One of the people I look up to, who I've begun to love, is Klaus Schwab, and he said by 2030 you will own nothing and be happy. And I stand with him because I am not selfish. And those who stand against it are selfish. My closing statement, my only regret is that I didn't stop Breonna Taylor's killers. I still remember like it was yesterday. I was shopping at Target in the Pride section looking for a shirt for my 6-year-old openly gay transgender nephew after I got off work at Starbucks where I'm a barista. But at least I know that I was helping the LGBTQ community while Breonna Taylor was killed. Every night I lay on my pillow and I pray that Dr. Fauci will make a vaccine for white supremacy. I hate myself!
Thank you. That's your time. Appreciate it. Well,
I'm going to take a knee for George Floyd.
yeah. Could you do that over there so we can get the next person? Thank you. Okay. If we could, so we'll take like a 5-minute break and wipe all that down. So it's 8:13. We'll be back.
All right, that was definitely not real. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I don't know. I'm still like 1% sure that 1% maybe that guy was actually serious. But, you know, who the heck knows anymore, dude? Like, who knows? You can't separate parody from reality nowadays. That'll send us off into the weekend. That was fun. Have a great weekend, guys. If you haven't already, would love a follow on any of your social media platforms where we share hilarious content like this all day, every day. So follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Getter, YouTube. The Truth. I'm on Truth Social. I keep calling it The Truth. I don't think it's actually what it's called. But would appreciate a follow on any of those social media platforms. Would appreciate you doing so. You can also send me stuff. One of my friend Nick sent me the Justin Trudeau getting hammered at the UN. So that was good. Yeah, if you got articles, stuff that I should be talking about, send it along. Michael says that was an SNL skit, maybe. Yeah. What? Okay. Yeah. Oh, I think the consensus is a lot of people says that guy's making fun of people. So yeah, there's that. Yeah. Anyways, that's gonna do it for us today. We'll see you Monday on. I don't know why I said on Monday. Whatever's coming out through the news, I'm sure Joe Biden will say something ridiculous over the weekend that we'll be able to make fun of on Monday. But we will see you then. And until then, have a great weekend. God bless America.